100. Can you keep that as bloopers? Okay, ready?
116 Hotline.
It's Sadie.
It's Valby.
And this is Sutiana. Welcome back
to
another
episode
of
116
Hotline. And if this is your first time with us,
oh my gosh,
welcome in. We are a trio of sisters who just talk about anything that we want to because it's our podcast.
Yeah, we own it. We own the copyright.
Seriously. And thank you so much for tapping in. I hope you stick with us
forever.
If you haven't already, please do go check out our previous episodes.
Yes.
We've got some pretty juicy topics and some pretty vulnerable ones as well. Like you get it all. We're the full package, honestly.
Absolutely. So if you liked it, stick around and let's get to it. Do you guys ever feel like you're always on the go?
Yes.
Always on the go.
Sometimes.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go.
It's a commercial.
Gotta go. Number dose.
Gotta go.
Like, gotta go to the bathroom.
Like, you gotta take a shit.
Okay, anyways, the reason why I asked you guys that is because I don't know if it's my mental illness, but I always feel like I'm always on the go. And there's a podcast I listen to called the SelfWork Podcast. Shout out to Dr. Margaret. I love you, Dr. Margaret.
It's a doctor.
She's actually a therapist in Arkansas. And yes, and she started this podcast called the SelfWork Podcast. Yes. And it's basically the goal of the podcast is basically for people who have always wanted to know what it is like to have a therapist. And
wow. I need to go look her up.
Yes. And she really does some insightful episodes on how to really help work on yourself. So every episode, she always starts with her little thing where it's like, I hope you can take some time for your own self-work. And then kind of just helping the listeners go through things that they can help themselves be better or whatnot. And there was one episode that I listened to recently, and she was talking about about time, like how we always feel like we're running out of time. And I just wanted to relay that on our podcast because I feel like that I can really resonate with that. I always feel like
I think we all can.
There's never enough time.
Like too much things to do in a day.
Yes. And I think it also goes back to how you see time and how you perceive time and how you spend your time. And I just wanted to unpack that with you guys and I wanted to get your perspectives because me listening to that episode really made me think like, man, that is so true. And I just wanted to know the girls' perspectives. Like, do you guys feel the same way I do? Or what is your perspective about time and time management? And because for me, I feel like at times I am out of control. I have no control over the time management, and that I have so much to do in a day, and that, you know, I'm always thinking about what I need to do today, what I need to do a week from now, and I just feel like I'm always on the go, and that there's never enough time for me. And I'm always thinking about like, okay, I have the rest of my life, but then, oh wait, I'm gonna be 30, and then I'm gonna be 50, and it's just like I'm always thinking about time. Time is always the thing that I think kills me when I'm trying to get things done, when I want to accomplish certain goals. And I just want to know what you guys think about it. If you guys also struggle with that too, or is that just me, or how you guys see time and time management, and also what your opinion on that is.
Ooh, like I already, when you were talking about the time and how you view it as like, what is it, like not almost in a like not necessarily negative, but it's like it's against you, like time is against you, right?
Oh yeah.
Like as soon as you said that, I was like, but wait, time, I also see time in the good of it, the good lighting of time, because, you know, when I think about situations like Val's or like, you know, my past, where time heals all things, you know. So it's kind of like you can come from both sides and both perspectives, and I think it's just really where you are in the time being. We're gonna use the word time a lot for this time, but yes, like me personally, see, this, it just comes naturally to us now, honestly, because I just have to reference that. But me personally, like when I feel the same. I feel like sometimes with my life, my job, and just my social life in general, I feel like, man, I just don't have the time to do everything and to fit everything in. And I feel like I want to, in order to feel fulfilled, you know, with like my life in general, or even if it's just day by day, but it's just like I feel like time is not enough. But lately I have been learning how to also slow that down and just to utilize the time for myself as well. So like for example, this week I have a 4-day weekend, right? And originally I was supposed to go to Texas Brand, but I'm not anymore. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Like I have a lot of time, on my hands, but I'm literally just thinking about, I'm going to rest. I'm going to like just do some self-resting just to, and maybe go to gym here and there, but just to enjoy time to myself because I feel like I need that.
So you're taking control of your time.
Ooh, yes.
You're taking control of it.
My time. I'm taking control of my time, and I'm trying to make it like, the best for the time being.
Like make it worthwhile.
Make it worthwhile because whenever I'm working, like Val said in the past, like my job, I'm literally on the go. Like sometimes I don't even reply back to y'all.
You really do. She really does not. Do you all have a friend like that where it's like they're always busy?
Like she's probably logged into her other stuff.
My other account, that too, and then they'll be like blowing me up on my our group chat.
I'm like, she's gonna reply.
Yeah, she'll reply later on.
I don't reply until
like at 6 p.m., 7 p.m.
Yeah, and then I'll be sorry guys, I just now finally got the time to get on my phone because literally when I'm at work, I do not have the time to even get on it at all.
Yeah,
and I feel like I'm always already on the go at work, and I don't have time to do anything. Sometimes I barely have time to eat my lunch. So I like that's whenever I feel like I have no control of the time. And just thinking about time in general, to coordinate and to correlate it with my job, I hate it the most because with my job I literally feel like I do not have enough time to teach like all of the curriculum, blah blah blah.
Yeah. We literally in that sense, you are literally on a time constraint. It ends at 3:30 p.m. or whatever.
Exactly. I have no time. It's already almost the end of the year for the school, and I'm like, I feel like sometimes I feel like, man, like I'm not doing enough,
Yeah.
But in reality, people see it, and I try to catch myself like, holy crap, I'm doing what
so
I can.
much.
I'm doing so much.
You're doing
what
you can already. Yep.
So that's why like it's a time I have a love-hate relationship with time because whenever I'm at home, I have the guilty feeling of, man, I could be grading, I could be doing something for school for work. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to also rest. I need to
take your time.
Take my time,
and not like overthink it.
And not overthink it. Yeah. So I think about your life, Satana, because you're always like, even on the days, like seriously, this girl on weekends or whenever she's off, she's like, oh, I have this event to go to. I have to run here. I have to do this. I'm like, geez, girl, you gotta. I'm just gonna tell you.
What that is, though?
Tell you.
That's toxic productivity. Because sometimes Satana be doing that to herself without even realizing it.
And the reason why this is my perspective on time is because I feel like I have only a certain amount of hours in a day that I
get to,
and like I've said all these, many episodes before that I have all these roles that I have to play that at the end of the day, that's literally the only time that I can do the things I truly enjoy. So I think, yes, Valerie can call it toxic productivity, which is true, yes, but then at the same time, that's the way I can fulfill my inner things of the things that I want to do. That's true. And that's the only time when I can, because it's like the way my lifestyle is, I have to do it that way, or else I in turn will not
have the time
fulfill that inside of the need of the things that I enjoy, the things I want to do. That's why
I feel like that's true, but then I feel like sometimes when you have too much on your plate,
it's a little bit much.
Then sometimes you're like, you get overwhelmed too much.
Yes.
But then it's like you don't think about it that way because you just think about like these are the hobbies and stuff that you enjoy doing, so you take it on. But then whenever it does all hit you at once, then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm doing too much. Like I feel like I'm drowning.
Like I signed up for too much.
For sure.
Right.
I think part of it is really just because when I think about time is scary to me.
It is.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, I think time is scary because I just from like a cultural point of view, like we've seen our parents and how they are now in their age, and they're getting older, and I just think of the things that when they were our age, what did they accomplish? And I think comparing is really a thief of joy because I try to not compare, how they are, but at the same time I compare with myself because I'm like, I'm this many years old.
You compare with your peers.
Yes, I'm like, I'm this age and I've only accomplished certain things, and to me, like, I think time is such a sensitive topic for me because I have so many things that I want to do that I feel that I don't have enough time to do everything that I want to accomplish.
It's okay, let it out,
I try my best to fit everything in a day in a weekend, and I always think about the thing I'm doing next, because I feel that if I don't fill up the time, my mind's gonna wander, and I'm gonna have to think about so many other things other than the next thing that I'm doing. And also, I think being scared of not accomplishing things that I want to accomplish, I want to push myself and keep pushing myself to fill up that time, because you don't know when you're gonna die. So I wanna do the best that I can do with the time that I have. And yes, call it toxic productivity, call it whatever you want to, but that's what works for me. And I think just realizing that you don't never know when you're gonna go. I don't want to just always relax. Like I want to accomplish something that will make me feel like I accomplished something.
You did something. Yeah. I think maybe in that sense you're thinking about there was a saying that I saw that it's like, live your life the way you want people to remember you at your eulogy, you know?
Yeah.
Like you want to have a meaningful and impactful eulogy. You know,
Yes.
so I think that's what you're thinking about. But also, I can kind of resonate to what you're talking about always having to worry about the next thing and this and that. And I think that goes back to, like, I said it in the past, like our childhood stuff. Like, our parents used to do that. Like, my dad was like, oh, you got to do this and this. Like, you can't be doing this. Don't waste time doing this. If you have free time, you need to be doing something.
Yeah.
And so that was drilled into my head.
I was going to guess rooted,
yeah. It's like rooted into my head too. But I think recently I have been okay with not doing a lot, and I have been okay with slowing down time. I think for me though, I'm not really afraid of death, just because I see it all the time, and I don't really see it as like a scary thing that like a lot of people do.
A part of life.
Yeah, because it really is a part of life. And I have seen so many people pass. Like, I can't even remember. It's like too much to count on my fingers. But it's like, I don't know. It's like we're all going to die. And I have accepted that already at such a young age, that I may die today. I may die tomorrow. And so I don't want to poison my head with, oh, I should have done this, or I should have wished I would have done that, or I want to do this, I want to do that, when it's like I could literally die tomorrow. And that's okay. I'm going to just live for today, for this moment, for right now. And that brings me back to a couple things. When I was in nursing school for clinicals, during my psych rotations, they had this morning meeting with all of the psych patients, and one of the therapists there, he got up in front of them and went to a board, and he wrote up like 1 through 24, and he's like, you see this? These are all the hours you have in one day. 6 to 8 of these hours you're going to sleep. You have this many hours left to do this and this. What are you going to do with that? Like, it is your power and your ability to take control of these remaining hours of your life for that day. So do something that, you know, is like meaningful and impactful. And I think ever since I saw that in my nursing clinicals, that kind of made me have a different take on time. And then another thing that had me have a different take on time is, if I was to be born today, right now, at this very specific moment, what would I be worried about? And it would be nothing, because I was just born. I don't have anything to be worried about. And you just have to think about it like that. I don't want to live with the fact that I feel like time is chasing me, or that I'm chasing time.
Right.
You know, because if you feel like time is chasing you, or you're chasing time, you're gonna drain yourself, you know? So just live for right now, in this very moment, because that's all we have to know. The past, you've already lived that past. The future, you haven't gotten there yet. So why are you worrying about it? Right now, in this very second and moment, that's what you should be living for. And that's the only time you should be worried about, because that's the only time that you are a part of.
Be present in the time. Yeah.
That's so true.
That was really good. That reminded me. Thank you. That reminded me. I don't know if you ever, Mr. Tanner, you've read the book. What is it called? A Letter from Mr.
Yes.
What is it called?
Yeah, I borrowed it from you.
Yeah. Crap, I can't believe I forgot. Letter to Mr. Moby or something. I forgot.
Timothy Moby.
No.
I forgot. Man, I'm gonna have to link it. But it's a book, and it's based on a true story about the professor. Like, you know, he got sick and he was dying, and then he's talking to his student, and he's talking about death and having to just accept it, like you said, accepting it, because it's a part of life. So the moment that you accept that death is a part of life, you're gonna appreciate all the time that you do have left, and then whatever you do have, like, you're gonna be able to appreciate it like that, you know. So, and like I said, like Valerie said, I personally, I had a toxic relationship with time. Like, I had a hate and love relationship with it, but now, like, I am starting to learn how to just be present in the moment as well. And some things might be out of your control, you know. So you just gotta take what's like,
like some things are really out of your control, and you can only really do things that you can do. And it's like, the first step is even acknowledging that, like, and if you've done that, you've done a lot already. And then now the next step is, what can you do with the little time that you do have, but to not put it on a restraint on yourself to where you're battling and overwhelmed. You know, you only have that little time. So divide that time into smaller times, and divide that time into smaller times, and then appreciate those little times, and that'll all add up to your little time.
And like recently, I've learned to really appreciate quality over quantity. Like, and I live by that now. Whether that's with my job or like just my life in general, I have really tried to live by that. So like, you know, like, I don't even care about the quantity anymore. Like, it's quality time.
I feel like that's like us too, because we really only ever get together to film, and that's like once every like 2 or 3 weeks. But then like the quality time is a lot better than if we were to hang out like every day or every weekend, you know, or doing like dumb shit, you know. Like, the quality time is what matters.
Yes, absolutely.
I think in a sense of, in her podcast, she was talking about kind of like, going back to what Valerie said, like kind of like chasing time, and in Dr. Margaret's podcast, people submit questions to her email, and that was one of the things, is, you know, time management. And like, I think for me, when I was listening to that episode, I just resonated with the fact that, you know, life is short, and that I think just fulfilling it into the point where you feel accomplished in sort of a way where I just want to feel something, you know, like, I want to feel that I have done the best that I could do, you know, do the hobbies I want to do, you know, do the things that make me happy. And I think that is something that I personally need to work on, is really just living in the moment, which is really hard for me to do, because I think I do have that toxic hustle mindset.
Yes, you do.
but that's
I feel like that's like a defense mechanism,
but that's just me, and that's just me. That is just me. I know that it's not great, but that's just me and how I've always been, and I think that's just a part of me now. Like, you know, I really wish I could just stop and take it in, but I'm always just.
But here's the thing,
on the go.
Like Val said, like, at least you're acknowledging it, and you know it, so that's a good thing. And you're like my mom. She's like that too. She's like literally on the go. Like, no matter what she's doing, like, she's got to be doing something. She can never sit still for a little bit. She's got to be making errands. She's got to be running.
See, I feel like that's how like
a lot of
generational
trauma.
Maybe that's where I get it from.
They are always doing something, like
always
on the go.
All OG parents I know,
because that's how they were back in the motherland, where they're, you know, they
have to be on the go,
doing something,
or they'll be lazy.
That just honestly, like, if we dig even, let's unpack that, because if we dig even deeper, we can even bring it back to when they had to run away from the soldiers, right? They had to always be ready to pick up and go wherever they are. So can never settle down for too long. So, you know what I mean?
Let me just pause. That just reminded me of something, or it's kind of off topic, but not really. And that makes me think to that one time when we were working at McDonald's, and I remember it was Kathleen or someone, one of our managers said, a lot of you Hmong people, y'all are the fast workers. You're all so good. And I'm like, is that racist? But then at the same time, like, that's a compliment, because we are like the fastest, most.
We have a sense of urgency.
We know how to multitask, and it's the Hmong.
Maybe it's rooted in that generational, where it's like they can never sit still, because they always have to get up and be ready to go. You can never just sit down and relax. You always have to be ready to go at the drop of a hat. Like, if the soldiers are coming, baby, you got to get up and leave. You can't just be sitting there.
Unfortunately, it has to be tied with something traumatic, but honestly, like, it's a flex.
Sorry, I mean, like,
it's a flex.
If we're really digging deep,
then it's really,
it goes back to the motherland.
It's a
like
flex,
that's the fact of it. That's why I feel like we always, for the older generation, like, they always can never sit still because of that. Like, for them, I feel like they also have an issue with time as well, and maybe that's why it's passed from generation to generation, because you know, they always need to get up and be doing something, because if they're not, then it's not useful.
Yes,
They
not
think that it's
useful,
not,
yes.
that you're not making
use of the time.
Yes, yes.
That
which
is so true.
yes, like Val said, which is quite frankly toxic if you're
Yes.
you know,
it is
Being
toxic.
completely honest.
then
I mean,
yes.
it is toxic, but it's like, it's something that's so normalized that we don't really think about
See
that.
it.
That I feel like we kind of like cover it as a facade of, oh, we're just hustlers, or we're go-getters.
Right.
No, babes, look in the mirror, babes. You need to slow it down.
You are exhausted.
You're exhausted. Your brain is manic right now.
And
You need to
I
slow
think
down.
we need to normalize having to find a balance between
Yes.
that. And
Let's normalize taking breaks.
period.
Honestly, because like I said in our previous episode, it's drilled into my head that if you take naps, you're fucking lazy.
Yeah, and I just preface this by saying, like, even when I had to quit my job, my previous job, and like I had all the time in the world, I didn't work, I was just a stay-at-home mom, doing nothing really felt great.
Right?
Because it's like,
having to
when
worry
have
about-
I ever had the chance to just
Do
stop
nothing. Yeah.
and do nothing and not have to work, and not have to worry about time, not have to worry about going to lunch, not have to worry about, you know. And I think we take that for granted because like I said, and like Valerie said, like, we have that so-called hustle mindset where it's like, always got to get something done, always got to do that, but it's been drilled in our head. So it's like, how do you stray from that, or how do you break that cycle so that you can, you know, do something more positive and not be so toxic? I don't know. How do you even begin? Because there's so many things that you have to unpack before you can even get to the root of that.
I feel like if it's really working for you, like really honestly, really and truly working for you, and you have learned to build your life around that in a positive sense, then by all means, babes,
Do it.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
Please
Keep
do.
doing it, because if it's working for you, why would you stop doing it?
Right.
But I feel like if you're in the person that's in between, and you have like some days where you're like, I'm a hustler, I'm a go-getter, and then you have some days where you're like, I wish I could just slow down. That's at that point,
Your body telling
that's
you.
when you need to.
Valerie's talking about me.
Period.
No, not just you. Like, yes,
There's
you,
others,
but
too.
like, there's others, because that's how I used to be. Like,
Yeah.
I used to.
Before you got on medication.
Yes, I used to like purposely fill my day out.
I knew
Like,
she
oh,
was
I have
that.
like an appointment from
Booked and
1:30 to
busy.
2:30,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
then
you
at
really
3:30
did,
I had
dude.
yes.
She did.
I used
She
to do
did,
that
for
so
sure.
Stressed me
so
out
bad,
just listening to
and
her.
because I felt like I needed to be doing something like constantly, like I need to worry about this,
Yeah.
I need to do this and do this. Think about plan A, plan B, plan C, and then what about the plan D, just in case plan C doesn't work out.
Yes.
And then I had to think about, well, what if something happens wrong during plan B? Then I have to have a backup for the backup for plan
Yep.
B.
Yep.
And then it's just like, why am I doing that?
To yourself.
Just stop, relax. What is happening right now? I can control that.
Yes.
I can't control what's going to happen
About to
if
happen.
plan B
Period.
doesn't work, because I don't know if that's even going to happen. That's in the future. That
Yes.
time, when that time comes, that time will come. So I'm going to worry about the time right now, because whether I like it or not, the time is going to pass. Whether I sit here for the next 5 minutes, 5 minutes will pass. And whether I do something or not, the 5 minutes will pass.
Can I want to bring this back to Leslie. Hi, Leslie. Remember when she was talking about when she went on vacation to Hawaii, and she was like,
she just sat there on the beach.
yes, how she's
Yes,
always like,
that was a
why
really
do I
good-
feel like that? And I think when she posted out on her stories, and we reflected on that, remember when she
Yes,
came and we were
yes.
talking about that. I don't know if we did on the podcast.
We
Yeah, we
did,
did. It
because
was
she
on
was
our-
We did?
saying that like she
No, we didn't.
No, we
did.
did, because she said that she was on vacation and she felt like she needed to do stuff
She
because she was
wasn't-
on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
But she was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit here
Yes.
and enjoy
Because
the
it's a
beach
vacation.
because it's a
Yeah.
vacation. Like,
Which
you
is-
don't have to.
Which is so
I was-
true, because like,
yes.
when have you ever went on vacation? Think about the last time you went on vacation, and did you really just enjoy, or did you have an itinerary? I'm calling myself out, but
me too, because I always have to have the itinerary. I feel like there's a middle ground. There's like
Yes.
you can have an itinerary to have fun and just really enjoy it.
Yes.
Or you can have an itinerary where like you're doing too much and then you like don't even
gets
want to enjoy it.
stressful.
Yes.
I think for us though, we have a good medium, because
my Miami trip.
well, for us, when we do like for our Dallas trip for Gideon, we had an itinerary, but it was a loose itinerary.
Yes.
where we
Not
It wasn't
tight.
too booked.
right, we just did whatever, and
Yes.
you know it. I would highly suggest doing a loose itinerary.
Yes.
So that
Rather
way
than-
you're not stressing yourself out. And, you know, I guess
Yes.
I could look at that for you know,
life.
my life too, because it's like,
Yes,
you can have
not just
itinerary,
vacation.
but it's okay to not
give it
follow
some wiggle room,
right, 100% through.
Yes.
And if things don't happen, that's okay. And things don't always go according to plan, and you got to be okay with that.
You gotta be able to accept that.
And you don't need to stress over that if it doesn't go according to plan, because that's how life is. It's never ever gonna go as planned.
Amen. Practice what you preach, baby, because you're gonna have to really practice this. Because when I hear your story in your days and how you go, and like, I love it for you, and you too, especially her, used to. But then now, like she said, she's really gotten better. But Satana, on the other hand, she'll say, I have to do this, I have to do that, and then I gotta take my kids, I gotta do this for my parent,
and she gotta take her kids with her, and she's gotta go to Time Travelers, and she's gotta go to Umber.
When she mentioned her like schedule to me, I was like, oh shit. Like, well, I think, can you just slow down for a little bit?
Well, I
for the sake of yourself, like.
Okay, I would like to, but I think also that you two live very different lifestyles than I do. I was going to say,
you have other factors too.
I do have other factors, and you know, I think that's kind of what Danny pointed out to me, and that I do have a very different lifestyle than you guys, because it's, you know, granted, Valerie, you do have kids, and then Sadie, you don't have kids, but then for me, I have other circumstances that do not allow me to 100% be fluid.
Use your time freely. Yeah.
So that's, I think, and I've learned to look at that not as a roadblock, but I've learned to, like you said, about work around that.
Yes.
And so, yes, this is how it has to work for me because of the extenuating circumstances I have in my life. But I think, honestly, this can apply to anybody, any listeners out there, that whatever circumstances that is in your life, I would suggest you not to look at it as a roadblock.
Right.
For me, it's time, right? I choose to not let these other circumstances be a roadblock for me. Instead, work around it, because it is part of my life. It's what I have to work with in order for me to be okay with the way that I'm living. Is I have to work around it.
I feel like that goes back to like what I was saying earlier, like whether you do something about it or not, the time is going to pass regardless.
Yes.
So are you going to do something about it, or are you going to just let it hold you
because
back?
I mean, I could sit there and pout and be like, guys, today I worked, I had to do this and this and this, but you know, at the end of the day, I couldn't get all my shit done. It's like I can either sit there and pout or shut the fuck up and just try to get it done.
Actually try to do it,
you know. And I choose not to pout, because if I do that,
there goes 5 minutes wasted pouting.
Exactly. What good is it gonna do?
That's true.
And that just goes back to playing the victim. I don't want to play the victim of, oh, I have no time. No,
everybody has the equal amount of time.
Exactly.
That's the thing. Everybody is only given 24 hours in one day.
Yes. Yep. And like going back to what you said, Val, like how you know, when you went to the psych unit, whatever, that's literally what we learned when I used to sell life insurance. Is you have 24 hours in a day, 6 to 8 hours you sleep. What are you gonna do? And I think a lot of people that are entrepreneurs on TikTok and stuff, they have that mindset, right? They're like, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? And what you choose to do with that is, you know, it depends on if you're successful in life or not. And what you perceive as success. And I think having control of time really is a big one. But like I said, everybody's circumstances are different. It's just the way you perceive time and how you use it wisely.
Yeah, I think going back to what you were saying about like wanting to live a life that's like fulfilled, and you're wanting to live like a life like you actually did something that matters.
No regrets, I guess, in a way. Yeah.
For me, it's like I kind of understand where you're coming from, because I've had those thoughts too, where it's like I wanted to have live a purposeful or a life that's memorable, you know, like people be like, oh, I remember Valerie, she did this and this, but then at the same time I feel like having that mindset kind of puts a heavy weight on you, you know, like it feels like you have to live up to something.
Well, I don't think of it in that way. I think of it not for other people, but for myself, like, because I think for me, I'm a true Leo, baby. For me, it's like I really uphold a standard for myself. I'm not doing it for other people. I'm doing it for myself, because I just want to know that I have accomplished something, and that I'm doing something that I know that I love, that I have value, that holds value to me. Not for others, but something that holds value to me, and that is what makes me feel like I'm in control of time. Is something that I know that holds value to me, that I know that I will be happy that if I accomplish this goal, or if I use my time to do this thing that I know will make it feel like it's useful to me, that I've reached a goal in a certain way.
I just feel like time, like with time and life and death, like a lot of people are scared of death, and they're scared about like, oh, I need to hurry up and live life because I might die. I think like Sadie said, once you get over the hurdle of that, like death is a scary thing, then you kind of free yourself more into just living in the moment. you know, and not worrying about a lot of things. I feel like that's a lot of self-sabotaging whenever you're worried you're worried about things that haven't or maybe never might even happen.
I know, and we talked about that before, but I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah.
But
I think like it all comes down to like yourself too, like you said, because that's like Satana said, because that's what perception. Yeah, like you personally, you feel like you feel like that's you want to accomplish it for yourself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But so because for me personally, I'm okay with just like if I don't get to the tip top or whatever, I'm okay, because at the end of the day, I'm happy. I'm here. I'm happy.
And you're already 5 steps away from where you were before.
Exactly. As long as if I'm making some kind of progress in life, I'm happy and I'm content with that. You know, like I don't have to go up over and beyond for myself. You know.
I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, I know you are.
Towards myself.
For herself.
Yes,
she's
for
her
yourself.
worst
like
critic.
I literally
she's really her own self.
And I used to be too, though. But
and I think that's I think I've always been that way.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it goes with, like I said, you know, going rooted back to childhood, like you know, always wanting to. And that's why I'm so competitive. Like,
you are competitive.
I hate that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm so competitive. Like, is anybody else out there competitive? Because
I know a few people like that that are super competitive.
I think I'm not really. I used to think I was really competitive, but I think I'm not.
I'm just so more of like, I'm chill. Like I'm cool. Like,
like
if I want to be competitive,
a little
but
a little bit competitive, medium competitive, over.
I'm literally like,
yes.
I seriously, all three of us are really just not total opposites, but we're like different.
And I love that so much about us, because we all have different like perspectives and different inputs and
like
insights.
it's like aggressive, middle, not so
She's
aggressive.
chill.
Like,
I'm the chill on here.
And that's what's so great about, you know,
mixing
and having different conversations, is because not everything is the same.
Because can you imagine all three of us if we were all competitive? Oh God! Like
we would always trying to talk over
this
the
conversation.
It would not be a conversation. We were having arguments.
Okay? This conversation will not be a conversation. Like, and our past episodes would have not been so calm and just not
we'd be like making
enjoyable, honestly.
Yes.
You know, so there's, I feel like in a sense, in your circle or people around you, you have to find like not necessarily total like polar opposites, but like slightly different what is it, like personalities, yes, for sure, to make it like a good balance, because I feel like we have a pretty good balance.
We do. And talking about time, I just want to say, you guys, I'm turning 29 this year.
I know. See, that's so crazy.
That's so crazy.
And I was just thinking literally the other day, like I was listening to EDM, like going back to like my 2013 EDC days. If you've ever been to EDC,
she was a baby.
You know.
How old were you? Like
I was only 18. So that was literally 10 years ago. Because I went in 2013. I know. I went in 2013 in May, and I was literally listening to that same playlist. I was like, 10 years ago, I was only 18. That is crazy.
Really, like just this year.
Yes.
I was telling Sutana and Sadie about this. Like I've been doing so much reflecting already, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, so much crap has already happened.
Yeah,
and it is only the beginning of April.
Yep.
And literally so much has happened to me already. I got pulled over twice.
Yes, like back to back. Like, you guys don't speed, okay?
And I wasn't even speeding, bro. I pulled over twice, got drunk, peed on the AC unit, went to the gym with a hole in my pants, like so much.
The cookie was out.
The cookie
I think we talked about this. Yeah, her cookie was out.
I got a second job. I'm getting ready to hopefully move out. Like so much has happened, and it is only about to be month 4 of 12.
But here's the thing. Like you say, it's only April, but in my eyes, I'm like, it's already April. You know,
no, I'm saying like it's only April, and so much like I can't believe it
within the first 4 months.
Yes, that just goes to show, like, whether you're paying attention to it or not, the time will go with or without you, babe. It's going.
And unfortunately, if I'm the first to tell you this, time in the world does not revolve around you.
Period.
Yeah. I don't want to hear that. Really everything revolves around me. I'm a Leo.
Like in your own world, yes, you may think that, but unfortunately, it does not, because the time will still make its way around. The sun will still make its way around the entire.
The 24 hours will pass. The 360.
You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like the world doesn't revolve around you.
Exactly.
Yes. I didn't want to say it. Hey, don't make me say it.
You were thinking that.
You said it.
Guys, don't say that to Leo.
Bitch, I am a Leo. We're different Leos.
You guys are quite different.
I'm aggressive Leo. She's like,
I'm the
She's
calm,
more like,
collected, on medication Leo.
on medication.
This is on medication without medication.
yeah, hello.
That would be a great ad.
Yeah, it would be.
I'm just kidding. But
I'm doing the holistic way.
stop.
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
But
Anyways, back to time.
Time.
See how much time has passed by with us just
Kiki
kaka.
But then, hey, it was good though.
It was
good.
good.
Like, it's
See,
quality over quantity.
Exactly. Quality.
over-
Wait, 1, 2, 3. Quality over quantity.
Put that shit on the
Put
shirt.
that on a shirt. Put that in your brain. Drill that in your brain. Because honestly, like at the end of the day, like Val said, we're all gonna die one day.
We are.
We're all gonna
Wait,
die
okay,
one day.
talking about death.
Oh God.
All my friends are dead.
All my friends are dead. Okay, no, seriously, we gotta stop with this dark humor.
No,
People are
But really talking about death.
No,
and-
no, literally,
Yes, literally
I have a serious
talking
question about death.
Yes.
Do you guys want to be cremated, buried, or do you guys want to be what's the one with the composted?
What is that?
No, I want to be a donor, and then I want to be cremated.
Oh, okay. So Sadie,
I've always-
composting is like, you know how
What is
like
that?
They bury you
they bury you, but then composting is like then your body breaks down and they can use it as fertilizer.
as soil.
Oh
to grow
really? Oh, so they,
vegetables.
so they don't like bury you in like a regular.
Well, I'm saying that's like the new thing now
They,
is
like,
composting.
It's pretty much like your body rots in the
And, like,
soil, and
breaks
then
down.
they use the soil to
and so
grow
basically,
stuff.
like your
in the
body,
earth, like
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
to earth.
yeah. So
That's
then
kinda
it literally
creepy.
will like
It's kinda
break
creepy.
down.
But I don't know. I mean, the only one I knew was just to get
Bury.
regular buried. But then I have thought about cremated. I think it's so
Really?
beautiful.
I know.
Like I've heard a lot about it, where you just like they like put your ashes in the
Yes.
ocean or like
Yep.
on top of the mountains. I think it's such a beautiful because
I could see you doing that. I could see you doing that.
I think
In
that would be-
Hawaii,
Hawaii,
maybe?
on top of the
Yes,
mountain.
and that would be so
Tell
beautiful.
me what
That would be
I-
my dream. Okay, well, no, not my dream to die soon.
But like,
That's what you want. Is
Once,
Yeah.
whenever, to
Yes.
yeah, with my ashes. I think that would be such a beautiful
Valerie,
thing.
you would donate your body to
I
science,
would.
though.
I
Donate your
I
organs?
Her
I
body to
used to
science?
not be.
that
I
mean?
used to not want to be an organ donor.
I am.
But
Oh,
after
organ. You are?
I just
on my-
I just
on my
changed
license.
to be an organ donor.
Stop. That's gonna be so then if you guys get in a car accident, like they're gonna take your eyes and your
Your skin.
Lips.
Oh wait, that could be anything.
yes.
No.
It's your eyes, your skin, your lymph nodes, everything.
Your
For real?
heart,
I thought it was
yes,
just
your
like
heart.
actual like.
No, your skin.
That's
So let's say
Your
somebody
eyes.
is on like we're so off topic, but let's say somebody has their time has gone down and they need a new kidney, and let's say you die, they could literally take your kidney out and like replace it for theirs.
I mean, I guess I don't mind if I'm gone. I mean, and my stuff is still working. Why not
Yep.
put it
And
out? there.
I
People-
just
to
turned
someone that needs it.
an organ donor.
Oh my god, you
Yeah.
guys! I'm so scared to be an organ donor.
I used to be too, but after working at the hospital, like,
But what if your eyes? Then somebody else is gonna have your eyes. Then when I look at them and be
why?
like,
I'll give them the gift of seeing.
it's gonna be like in the movies where it's like, I know those eyes.
Oh gosh, she's on drugs and not the good kind.
Thinking too much about movies.
Or like the people who get like the heart transplant and it's like they start loving
They
the
love
same
the other person. Okay, she's been watching too much
I
Bollywood.
love those movies. No, but then now seriously, like Val said, if somebody else is in need of it and you're not there anymore, why not? You know, just
I don't know. I'm just so
spread share.
I'm
with the
scared about that.
Share with the world. You know,
I mean, I think it is scary just knowing that you're.
I
Like,
never-
let's say it's your loved one, knowing that your loved one's parts
Yes.
are in someone else.
Yes.
In that sense, it is like, oh man,
don't-
like that person is part is still alive in someone else's body.
like they're still
still here.
alive in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
I
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
think it through because if my mom were to know, she would tell me no.
Yeah,
I was about to say,
yeah, your parents would probably
Wait,
say no.
no.
They would say
Yeah.
that like you wouldn't be able to go on and do
Yeah,
that in your
yeah,
life
yeah.
and all that
Culturally,
stuff.
that's
Yes.
another story. But
yeah. We'll say that for another episode.
We'll say that for another episode. But in time,
we
everybody
already talked about
dies.
that episode. We already have an episode about our
Cultural
culture.
stuff.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, so refer back to that.
But anyways, like Drake from Time. You guys know?
yes.
With Jhené Aiko?
Jhené Aiko, yes. It was from Nothing Was the Same album.
Been a minute since we kicked it. You've been caught up with them bitches. I don't get it. You're a star love.
Starlet.
Star Love.
Star love.
Star Love.
I think.
I would you say it like that? Anyways.
What was after that? What was after that?
I love me enough for the both of us. And that's why you trust me.
You know that I've been through more than most of us. So what are you? What are you so afraid of? Darling, you give, but you cannot take love.
I hate it when you hear that shit. It's so sentimental.
Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, time is a thief of joy.
It is.
Time and comparison.
And you can, like I said again, you know, you just have to.
Period. Repeat it, says.
You just have to. You give and take.
Oh.
Give and take, baby.
Give and take. Give me on. Oh. Give or take.
Give me on. Give or take.
Oh.
Give or take. Give or take.
However you want to look at time, just it's up to you. Ooh. It's up to you.
Okay, let's play this game. It's a sick game, but I'm gonna say it. Since we're talking about time,
yes.
If you're on your deathbed right now, what would you tell people about time?
Oh, it's like
live in the moment.
It's making me think about that. of that book again. You know, just like
what would you say? What would you say?
I would say
to your loved ones.
Okay, let's take your time.
Wait, let's start with Sadie because in order.
If I was on my
if you're on your deathbed, if you have cancer, you literally have like
2 days to live. No, the end of the week.
You literally have 2 hours left to live.
Yes. I would say travel to your destination place and just really live in the moment with your loved ones and just really take it all. No social media, no nothing. Just live in the moment with your loved ones in the most beautiful place ever, because that's what I would do.
Ditto. I would say time is never promised for anyone. So live in the present. Really, live in the present, because time is not promised for anyone. Anyone can die any second, any moment, any time. Death does not wait for anybody.
Seen it
I can go. You can go. She can go. You can go.
We can go.
We can go.
Bye.
A lightning bolt can come. You know, you never know. Driving home, drunk driver can come. You know, you don't know.
Hey, that's
really
time and death waits for nobody. So live right now. Live for you.
Make the best of it.
Make the best of it.
That's like, I want to get that tatted, honestly. I mean, I think I already have 5,000 things that represent that, but really make the best of it. I literally have live a little right here tatted.
There's people that are like, oh, living a best amazing life. All of a sudden they had cancer and they have an hour to live, and you're over here fucking around. Just live life, man. You can't live life for that person. You fucking live life.
You know what I would say?
What would you say?
I would say Pizza Hut is better than Domino's.
Oh my gosh.
No,
girl, fuck them pizza. Fuck you too.
No, if I was on my deathbed, honestly, and I only had like 2 hours left to live, I would.
What would you say? What would you tell people?
She would say, I don't want to die.
Go to the thrift store.
No, she'll say, I don't want to die.
Thrift store real quickly and pick up a
Just kidding.
I'm gonna take that out. Okay. What would you say? Hurry up. Okay, if I was on my deathbed, I would tell all the people that I love in my life how much they mean to me.
I love that.
But what about in time? What would you tell them
about time? About time.
Yeah. Duh. If you're talking about deathbed, then rewind my piece back. Hold on, I got a couple shit I gotta say to some people.
Okay. I forgot
about time.
Okay, about time. I would say, get off your phone and spend time with the ones.
Practice what you're preaching.
I know. Bitch, I ain't done anything.
There's a girl with a lot of screen time.
No, y'all have way more screen time than me.
No, let's pull it up after this.
Bitch, y'all take up more than me.
No, let's pull up how much screen time all of us are.
Okay. Anyway, scratch that. Okay, guys, back to me. Okay. So about time, I would tell people. I would say, try to get off your phones and spend, like, just be in the moment.
Be more present.
Be in the moment. Be in the moment. Be in the moment is easy thing to say, but hard to do with the technology we have nowadays. But truly try to be in the moment and do the things that you've always wanted to do.
Yes.
Because time doesn't wait.
Time doesn't wait. Time will go with or without you. Live life for yourself.
Do what you want to do.
Do what you want to do. Live for yourself. Do what you want to do. Live for yourself.
Because you're going to die.
Regardless.
You're going to.
And you know what? Some people might take that
as a negative.
And some people might take that like, well, you know what? If I'm going to die regardless, I'm going to kill myself right now. No, that's not what we're saying.
No, stop.
Call 889.
Call 988.
Call 988.
Okay, but honestly,
that's not what we're saying, because you know some people, they're just so weak-minded that they will think like that.
No, like literally, don't do that. Like literally, please, if you or somebody you know is struggling, please call 988. I'm like a really big advocate of that. Please call 988.
Call 988
if you guys are struggling. But what we're saying
Or
is just
saying in general,
like we're
maybe you should look at it at a different perspective.
We're talking about like hypothetically, like just live life to the fullest. Basically the gist is live life to the fullest without any regrets. Be present and tell your loved ones you love them.
So as always, we upload every Monday at 2 p.m.
Central Standard Time. Follow us at 116th Hotline on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. And if you've enjoyed this, and YouTube,
which you should, because I feel like there's no reason that you should have.
If you enjoyed this,
it's funny. It's
please leave us a review. You know, leave us a comment.
The best thing you can do for us is leave a review, comment, or share. Sharing is the best.
And really, if you have feedback and you don't want to put it public, DM us, message us,
be anon.
Also, I do want to put out there that if you want to hear something else that we have not touched base on, please let us know so we can talk about it.
Give us your recommendations
on topics and whatnot.
Feel free to, we're open. Send us your recommendations because I feel like and also I just want to say we did hit 1,000 overall listens. I don't know if we ever commemorated that, but we've hit over 1,000 listens, and I appreciate all the listeners out there, all of our loyal listeners, our quiet listeners that don't comment, but they do listen. We appreciate you guys, and it's so nice meeting you guys in person and just feeling the love of when you guys really tell us in person that you listen to our podcast.
Yes.
We love you guys so much. And we do this for not only ourselves but for you guys as well, because we just want to create a safe space where we, as well as you, are comfortable enough to listen to stories like this,
and hopefully you resonate with
without feeling like you're going to be judged, and without feeling like people are going to come for you for your opinions, because
regardless
we're all humans. Who cares? I mean, freedom of speech, y'all. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's why we're in the US of A. But also, I just want to say that too, we do take our time out of our own personal lives just to do this. Like, we do this just for fun, and Sutana takes time out of her life to do the editing, the uploading, the social media. Like, we don't get any money for this. We literally just simply do this because we enjoy it, and this is our quality time, and we just want to share our quality time with all of you guys. So that's why we do this, because it's something we enjoy, and we want you guys to enjoy it as well. So hopefully you guys do.
Thank you guys so much for listening. We love you guys so much.
Stay tuned for the next episode.
We'll see you next week. Bye.